idiom that we talked about how to tell if this is in the correct position? Online is in line, right? So if this lever is in line with the hose, that means that it's allowing gas to flow through the ball valve, right? So think of it like a wall. If it's sideways, it's blocking stuff in. Once we've done all that, we are ready now to turn on our propane. You're gonna open the top of the propane canister and it's gonna let pressure in through this thing, but our regulator is restricting the pressure through the hose. The finger screw on the front twists, and as you twist, you're gonna notice that needle on that pressure gauge start to go up. Right?
Yeah.
We wanna start our forge at between 8 and 11 PSI. So you're going by this outside black number. So I go up usually to about 5 and then go right up to 8. I think that works just great. Now, there is pressure coming through this hose. The only thing stopping propane from going into our forge is our ball valve, okay? Double check to make sure that the front port is open. We don't want this box to fill with propane, right? Once the front port is open, you can turn the ball valve and hit the ignition switch.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Right? So everybody carefully come around the outside so you can see the front port. Stay back. Oh, don't need to be scared. I'm going to show you the absolute safest way to do this. So, remember I told you that propane has to mix with what in order to burn? Oxygen, right? So, these tubes up the top here are hollow. Propane is coming out of this bar, and there's an opening at the top of those tubes. As the propane shoots down those tubes, it's pulling oxygen into the opening at the top of the tube. That oxygen is mixing with our propane and ignites on the inside. The correct mixture of fuel and accelerant, so propane, fuel, oxygen, accelerant, the correct mixture gives us a mostly blue flame with a little bit of orange feathering at the bottom, okay? So, what are your observations about this so far? It's hot, definitely. It's very pretty, right? Can you feel the heat from back here? Yes. Right. So, it's important to remember just how much heat that this is generating. This forge right now is probably burning at about 1200 degrees. When we turn up the pressure, it can be cooking at about 2200 degrees, right? Really, really hot, right? That means out here, outside the end port here, I could roast a hot dog right about here in about 5 minutes, okay? Yeah, it's real warm. We're actually losing a lot of heat from the wind right now, so I can get my hand a little closer than I normally would be able to. But in a still room, you will feel an enormous amount of heat coming out of it, okay? Cool. Are you guys ready for demonstration? Yes. Okay. So what I like for everybody to do is back either all the way up against that wall or all the way out this direction. All right. What am I missing?
Gloves. Eyewear.
Missing your eye.
Last time, eye.
So, what are you wearing even if you are not blacksmithing? Not currently blacksmithing.
Eyewear.
You are always wearing eyewear, and gloves are not necessary. You can wear gloves. Apron, okay? Apron. What kind of clothing should you be wearing? So that plastic jacket will probably have to come off, but don't worry, you're going to get warm really quickly. All right. We're going to start with this. This is called rebar. It is basically really soft, mild steel. Today when we practice, this is what you are going to be practicing on. In the next couple of days, you are going to get a higher quality of mild steel to make your knife out of, okay? This goes right in the end of the forge, okay? When you are working, you can fit 3 to 5 projects in either side of the forge. If you need to, we can also turn the pressure up and open the front port and put projects in the front port if there's time you go into the forge, you need to make sure that you put your project in the same position in the port that it was in the time before. So in your group or on your forge, you need to say, okay, I'm going to be in the left side in position 1, which is like the farthest towards the front of the forge, right? So if you imagine the side door, right, side port, position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, position 5 is the very back of the port, right? You want to make sure you go into the same position every time so you don't lose track of which piece is yours, okay? If a piece comes out and falls down onto the ground, what do we say?
Hot metal.
On the floor.
Hot metal on the floor. What do you do if you hear hot metal on the floor?
Look.
Stop what you're doing and look. Okay? Does it mean you have to change anything once you've seen the hot metal where the hot metal is? If it's near you, you gotta move, right? Make sure you don't step on it. All you want to do is you want to stop and mark where that metal is, right? So you don't accidentally step on it. We want to do that because if it falls next to your foot, you want to get out of the way. Because even the ambient heat from one of these pieces of hot metal could burn you through your shoe, right? So you just want to look. It would take a long time. Like you need to be steady next to it for a long time, but it can happen, right? So what's happening right now is the two burners in there are mixing propane with oxygen. They're burning really, really hot, and they're heating that mild steel up, okay? Right now, because my piece of steel is really long, I am going to just use a glove to grab it. Normally, your pieces are going to be smaller. We're going to use our hardy chisel to cut some smaller pieces for you guys, okay? If you are going to use tongs, you always retrieve your metal from the forge with 2 hands, okay? Don't try to use one hand to operate your tongs. It's really hard, right? So 2 hands to grab your metal, then you can wrap one hand around it and carry it with one hand. What do you say when you bring your metal from the forge to the... Okay, hot metal, great. So, what am I doing wrong? Okay, all right. Hot metal. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to work down this and I'm going to square everything off. So you can see that there is this stuff coming off of it, okay? This is called scale.